2026 World Cup qualifiers, the 10 men who carried their nations. Can you believe it? The road to the 2026 World Cup is almost over, and right now, around 40 nations have already punched their ticket to the biggest party on the planet. The rest? They're fighting for their lives in the playoffs. But oh my goodness, what a qualifying campaign this has been. Late drama, last-second heartbreak, tears of joy, tears of pain, and a handful of absolute legends who said, "Get on my back, I'm taking us there myself." Today, we celebrate the 10 players who straight up carried their countries to North America. Let's dive in, starting with the biggest poster boy of them all. Erling Haaland, the Viking god who ended 25 years of Norwegian pain. Norway hadn't seen a World Cup in the entire 21st century, not once. Even when Haaland was already terrorizing Europe in 2022, they still missed Qatar. But this time he said no more. He scored in every single game. He equaled Lewandowski's all-time European qualifying record, smashed Harry Kane's record to become the fastest European ever to 50 international goals in just 55 games, scored 5 in one match, the first European to do that in 48 years, and led Norway to their first win over Italy in a quarter of a century. 8 wins out of 8 against the most successful World Cup nation in Europe, and Haaland was directly involved in nearly 50% of Norway's goals. I'm getting goosebumps. Norway is back because one man decided destiny wasn't good enough. 2. Almoez Ali, the Qatari pharaoh who refused to let history repeat. Qatar had never earned qualification on the pitch, only the 2022 World Cup because they hosted. Everyone wrote them off. Everyone. But Almoez Ali looked at that script and said no. 12 goals, 4 in the first half against Afghanistan alone, top scorer in all of Asia, second only to Haaland worldwide, and directly involved in over 35% of Qatar's goals. Back-to-back World Cups for the first time ever, and it's because one man carried an entire nation on his shoulders. 3. Mehdi Taremi, the 33-year-old lion who refuses to roar quietly. 51%. Let that sink in. More than half of Iran's qualifying goals, every header, every penalty, every screamer, came from this man's boots or his genius brain. 10 goals, 8 assists, 18 direct goal contributions, while the rest of the squad shared the crumbs. At 33, knees supposedly creaking, everyone thought the line was getting old. Old? This man is roaring louder than ever. Only one defeat in the entire campaign, and you better believe he was furious about that single loss. When the final whistle blew and Iran booked their ticket, the whole stadium chanted his name like a war cry. Mehdi Taremi didn't just qualify, he picked Iran up, threw them over his shoulder, and marched them to North America screaming, "Follow me." 4. Heung-min, the smiling assassin who's about to make the world cry. 12th straight World Cup for South Korea, 12, and standing in the middle of it all, arms wide, tears in his eyes, is Captain Sonny. He's turning 34 during the tournament, 34, yet he's still sprinting the length of the pitch, still smiling that sunshine smile, still dropping 10 goals and making defenders look silly. This man just overtook Cha Bom-kun as Korea's most capped player ever. Every time he pulls on that red shirt, 50 million Koreans feel invincible. This might be his final World Cup, and I'm telling you right now, Sonny is going to dance one last time under those stadium lights and leave every single one of us in happy tears. You heard it here first. 5. Chris Wood, the gentle giant who turned into a monster. 16 years of pain. 16 years! New Zealand fans cried into their flat whites every 4 years. Then Chris Wood stood up and said, "Not today." 9 goals in 5 games. 9! He scored in every match except one, bullied center backs twice his age, and single-handedly dragged the All-Whites kicking and screaming back to the World Cup. 47% of New Zealand's goals, almost half, came from this towering, humble, beautiful human. When that final whistle blew, grown men were sobbing in the stands. Chris Wood didn't just qualify, he healed an entire nation's football soul. 6. Ali Owan, the boy who made a whole country believe in miracles. Jordan, little Jordan. 0 World Cups in history. Everybody laughed. Cute story, but no chance. Then a 25-year-old kid named Ali Owan looked at that big fat 0 and said, "Watch me change it." Goal after goal, assist after assist. Over 34% of everything good Jordan created came through him. Automatic qualification, no playoffs, straight to the big dance. For the first time in history, Jordanian kids are gonna grow up knowing their country belongs on the world stage, and they'll all grow up with Ali Owan posters on their walls. This is bigger than football. This is national pride being born. Number 7, Mohamed Amora, the desert storm that nobody saw coming. Algeria missed 2 World Cups in a row. The Desert Foxes were lost. Then boom, 25-year-old Mohamed Amora explodes onto the scene. Top scorer in all of Africa, 3rd in the entire world. 58% of Algeria's goals had his signature on them. The 2 games Algeria dropped points, the only 2 games Amora didn't score or assist. That's not a coincidence. That's a one-man army. This kid is about to walk into North America like he owns the place. And trust me, the world isn't ready for the Amora storm. Number 8, Mohamed Salah, the king who answered every hater with silence and goals. Salah can't do it for Egypt. Salah disappears in big moments. 60% of Egypt's goals wore number 11. 2nd top scorer in all of Africa. Automatic ticket booked, first World Cup since 2018. The Egyptian king didn't argue on Twitter. He didn't clap back in interviews. He just went out, put the entire nation on his golden boot and said, "Still think I disappear? The throne is his, the crown is shining, and next summer, the world bows again." Marko Arnautovic, the 36-year-old madman who laughed at Father Time. 36 years old. Most strikers are on the beach sipping cocktails. Marko Arnautovic is out here bullying defenders like it's 2012. 8 goals. Only Holland scored more in the whole of Europe. 43% of Austria's goals came from this absolute warrior. First World Cup for Austria in 28 years. 28! And it's because one grizzled veteran looked at retirement and said, "Not before I drag my country there one last time." Age is just a number when your heart is pure fire. Respect forever, Marko. Number 10, Troy Parrott, the kid who gave Ireland hope in the 96th minute. Ireland were dead. 2 match days left, facing Portugal and Hungary, almost 0 chance. Troy Parrott said, "Hold my shamrock." 2 goals against Portugal, then a 96th minute winner against Hungary to break their hearts and send Ireland to the playoffs. Over 55% of Ireland's qualifying goals came from this 23-year-old. The job isn't finished yet, but if anyone can drag Ireland to their first World Cup in 24 years, it's this man right here. So there you have it, 10 absolute warriors who put their nations on their backs and said, "We are going to the World Cup and you're coming with me." Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Who had the single biggest carry job of them all? Can Troy Parrott finish the miracle in the playoffs? And drop your wildest, boldest 2026 World Cup predictions. I read every single one. If this video gave you goosebumps, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications because the 2026 World Cup is going to be insane, and we're covering every second of it together. See you in the next one. I'm still buzzing. Bye.